Welcome to the FA Show. I'm Lisa Johnson. In this episode, we take a look at the challenges and opportunities of moving to a new BD during uncertain times. We'll also preview the upcoming NorCal FPA conference and take a look at two recent moves that might just blast away the perception that repapering is a high hurdle in advisor transitions. We're past the quarter pull of the year, and all signs point to a continued strong flow of advisors moving to a new broker-dealer. Moving during uncertain times can feel daunting, and factors such as time for the task, risk, concern for assets, and more mean a transition, no matter how beneficial to the advisor in terms of opportunities and finances, can get pushed to the back burner. Jason Lambert, an advisor in Metro Portland, Oregon, faced similar challenges when starting his transition journey, ultimately making a move at the peak of the pandemic shutdown. 3X Equity founder and CEO Jeff Crosby spoke with Lambert about his transition and the success he had despite significant challenges.
Thing that I thought was interesting in your situation is that based on the statistics or information we had, you brought over like almost 95% of your assets, I think 94% of your assets in like 40 days.
Yeah.
Is that true or is that fake news?
No, that's true. That's true.
So how did Ameriprise or the process help you do that so quickly to bring over those assets?
Yeah, so we were set up day one. The second that we transferred over and sent my resignation to the old firm, we were on the phones calling, sent out the mail to everybody day one, and then tried to call as fast as possible to make sure everyone was aware. Now, we also had the blessing of it being in the middle of the pandemic. And so August 2020 is when we transitioned. And people were picking up their phones when your financial advisor was calling at that time. So that was very helpful, right? So that we also had that side. But Ameriprise did a great job giving us transition safe, where we uploaded everybody in there on a protocol firm. So we moved everybody's information over and we were able to just hit the ground running right away.
So it sounds like to me, what I just heard you say, in some ways, moving through the pandemic would be the absolute worst time to move a practice, but you did it and you had tremendous success. So it sounds like to me, not trying to put words in your mouth, but when you're ready to move, it doesn't really matter the timing of things. It's if it's the right opportunity, you just make it work.
Last episode, we shared coverage of the T3 conference in Tampa, and one takeaway was the sense that in-person events are back. The desire to share knowledge, see new things, and just be with people is strong, and we're looking forward to providing coverage of many more events this year. At the end of the month, we'll head to San Francisco for the NorCal FPA conference, May 30th and 31st. Annually ranked by Michael Kitzes as one of the top conferences for FAs, we'll have in-depth coverage and interviews with speakers and industry leaders next month. We caught up with Thomas Howard, Director of Planning at Bedell Frazier and chairperson of this year's event, and he shared with us a partial lineup of speakers from the event.
This year we have 28 breakout sessions with fantastic speakers, most of which will have continuing education for attendees. Plus, we have some fabulous keynotes that we just announced. All of this is going on in the very collaborative environment of the Palace Hotel. This year, we've also entered a Mentor Next Gen program where we match new attendees if they want with a more experienced advisor to help show them around. This is the environment that supports the power of community, and it's this community that can take your career to a whole new level.
We wrap up this episode with two recent moves that will have you questioning just how high of a hurdle repapering is when moving assets to a new broker-dealer. In a sign of just how wild things are at First Republic right now, a New York and Florida-based team has left after just 6 months with the firm. Morgan Stanley has scooped up at least its 8th team in the past few weeks from First Republic Bank's private wealth unit, as departures from the embattled bank have become a relatively routine occurrence. The group, led by Laszlo Paul Vasadi Kovacs, moved to First Republic just 6 months ago from Merrill Lynch. They had been generating around $7 million in revenue from around $900 million in assets, according to reporting on AdvisorHub. And although the ink has barely dried on their clients' account transfer forms, a $7 million team at First Republic Private Wealth Management were on the move again. Just 4 months after joining the since-embattled San Francisco Bank, Eric M. Yamin and Keith Caparelli signed on with J.P. Morgan Advisors, according to registration records. Yamin, a 29-year broker, registered with JP Morgan in Miami, while Caparelli, who has been a broker for 11 years, is based in New York City, according to BrokerCheck. They had previously overseen $700 million in client assets at Morgan Stanley. Though not the norm, it is interesting to see that two practices considered their relationship with their clients strong enough that repapering wouldn't deter the move of assets. Like Jason Lambert earlier, it is clear to see that technology is taking away some of the risks in moving to a new broker-dealer. Does this change how you viewed a transition in the past? Is now the right time for you to consider a move? If you are curious to learn more about making a move, check out the AdvisorHub offers tool on AdvisorHub.com or visit 3xequity.com. Thanks for joining us for this edition of the FA Show on AdvisorHub TV, powered by 3X Equity. I'm Lisa Johnson. Have a great day.
It's the NBA playoffs, and there's a term in the NBA called load management, and it's where the NBA teams don't play their best players as much during the season. They rest them and get them ready for the NBA playoffs. Well, it didn't work for the Los Angeles Clippers. They rested their two best players, and they're out of the playoffs, and they're injured. So how's that relate to you in your financial planning practice? Is your load management approach Zoom meetings versus in-office meetings? I'm here to suggest to you that in-office meetings deepens the client's relationship, it gets more of the client's wallet, and you're able to give better advice to your clients and better service. I think most of your clients would still prefer in-office meetings. It doesn't have to be every meeting, but most of them would prefer that personal touch. That's why we got in the business. So don't get lazy, just don't settle on load management, Zoom type meetings. Challenge yourself to continue to have in-office meetings with your clients.